Welcome to Jurassic World.
Good morning, guests. Welcome to the Jurassic World Minute, where we're visiting Jurassic World 1 minute at a time. Try our new Jurassic Steak Challenge over at Winston's restaurant. I'm Brad.
I'm Dave.
And today we're here to discuss Minute 4 of Jurassic Park. No, Minute 4 of Jurassic World. Before we get to that, David, over at Jurassic-Pedia.com, have a bit of a write-up here on the Dane County Airport, where this minute takes place. Originally a military airport created back in 1936 to serve the military in Wisconsin. I know I'm saying that wrong. I apologise to all the American listeners.
Don't worry about it. They pronounce everything wrong.
Yeah, as long as I don't have to say Massachusetts, I'll be fine. So originally a military airport over there. Airport itself's got 3 major terminals and serves Delta Airlines, American Airlines, Frontier Airlines, and United Airlines, which I know all but one of those airlines, even though I don't live there. In Jurassic World, in the film here, we see the Mitchell family. Oh yeah, we got here Scott Mitchell. Okay, are driving from their home in Dane County to the airport to drop the kids off for the flight to Isla Nublar. The sort of filming here in the notes on the article. The airport here looks a lot bigger than what it really is, but the movie shows that there's at least 3 terminals looking at the gates behind them as they're having a discussion. Where the real airport has 3 runways additionally, it's possible the Mitchell brothers might have transferred to another airport for their connecting flight to Costa Rica, as Dane County Airport doesn't have a direct service to Costa Rica. Which, that's a whole different thing we're going to talk about when we get to that ferry ride to Isla Nublar, just how people are getting to Costa Rica. But a good little ride up here on the Dane County Airport.
Yeah. I do remember being this airport, I think, was actually filmed at the Honolulu Airport, which I think also served as the lobby for the hotel at Jurassic World.
Yeah, I'm still continuing my Lost rewatch, and I've definitely seen this airport and the Honolulu Convention Center, I think it is, in Hawaii, being used as the airport.
The convention center is right next to the airport, isn't it?
I could not tell you. don't know, but it's sort of I sort of thought the airport here looks similar to what I've seen in. I think it was the checking gates where we have, I think it's Home Alone 2, so I thought it was filmed in Chicago, but obviously not. But yeah, we're going to see a lot of Hawaii in this film, and a lot of stuff that's supposed to be Hawaii and it isn't. Anything else on that you want to discuss?
No, I think we're good.
Alright.
Feed the monster under your bed?
Yes.
As we're in minute 3 of Jurassic World, Gray had been rushed to the car by his mum, went downstairs, and Zach was saying goodbye to his girlfriend. As we open on minute 4, as Zach gets in the car, both parents look back. The mum says, "I know it hurts, sweetheart," and the dad says playfully, "Are you going to be okay?" Zach just ignores him and puts his headphones on. At the 10-second mark, we cut to Dane County Airport, as Gray's looking over the tickets and his mum asks if everything's okay. And she's so jealous that she's not going on the trip with him. At the 28-second mark, she realises she's given the tickets to Gray. She says, "Let's give these to your brother, shall we?" She tells Zach to look after her brother and to answer the phone. It's the little green button. Just push it, okay? At the 46-second mark, she says, remember, if something chases you, run. At the 52-second mark, the boys leave the parents and start to make their way towards the check-in gate. And as the minute ends, as Karen starts to cry, the husband says, so much for our last family breakfast. As we continue from last minute, the parents making fun of Zach in the car. As Zach gets in, the mum sort of puts on baby voice and says, I know it hurts, sweetheart. And the dad says, are you going to be okay? Where, again, we just clearly see how awkward he was with the girlfriend, with all the lovey-dovey stuff, and here we are, the parents making fun of him again, which, yes, is good comedic fun for the film, but it's not in real life. You don't want to be doing that to your young kids when they're just learning and wanting to be with someone. And it's sort of here too, you can clearly see that the girlfriend was hanging on to him, not wanting him to go as well, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, don't make fun of the teenagers when they have girlfriends. But this is where we sort of get our first allusion to the fact that it's Christmas time. We sort of get the music in the car, isn't it? It's the car stereo playing the Christmas tune. Yeah,
well, like I said, I think the moon phase for the year actually puts the Indominus attack that night, where the T-Rex races down the Indominus, at Christmas Eve, I think.
You ask any Star Wars fan, when did Luke leave Tatooine with the moon phase? we dig deep into these things. I'm surprised we haven't got Owen through here just looking up the sun, telling the time instead of that big watch on his hand. Mm-hmm. Which would be the second film in the franchise to be shot or filmed at least at Christmas time, take place at Christmas time, behind Lost World, but this is sort of right there at Christmas time, so... Which I suppose makes sense in a way, where if they're going to the island for a couple of weeks to be looked after with Claire, they're going through the divorce now, it's sort of that time where they can be sent away and not at home with the parents while all that's going on. But that's where we cut to the airport. Mum's sort of talking to Gray about the tickets, and she's so jealous to be going, and they're going to have so much fun. And you can sort of already see here that the father's a little bit standoffish. When I first seen this, I sort of assumed that he was just a stepdad, and he wasn't really caring about the kids going off as much as what the mother was. But I suppose because later on we find out what's going on between the two of them, he's sort of just keeping back. But that's when when Karen realises she's given the tickets, those important tickets, to Gray and not to Zach, and tells him, let's give them to your brother, shall we? Where he's sort of just sitting there, not really looking that interested and looking around anyway, with his hoodie on. And sort of, again, another scene where Zach just sort of seems out of it. And I thought it was the headphones being on, but they aren't. They're sort of just hanging around his neck, so... Maybe there's a genetic issue there, where they've both got different versions of autism or something. Yeah. But that's where we get the only line from Scott here, telling Zach to listen to his mother, and that's when he sort of ignores him again. Again, not sort of. It doesn't look like there's much of a connection here between father and son. But Karen tells him to answer their phone when she's trying to call them. It's the green button, and that's when we get the trail line of something chases you, run, which. Yep. Perfect foreshadowing for what we're going to get later, because they're going to have to run really fast. Yeah. But as they say goodbye, Zach moves Gray towards checking the area, and the mother starts to cry as they depart, and we get our second line from the father here. As the minute ends, so much for our last family breakfast, which they're just at home, and it wasn't a Home Alone thing where they were rushing because someone slept in to get to the airport. It seems like they would have had their last family breakfast.
Yeah. But then again, this could have also been taking place in the morning, and Zach being off with his girlfriend, Gray being off in his room, I mean, it could have just been something they completely ignored, you know? Yeah,
true.
Couldn't get everybody together to have breakfast.
Well, yeah, and he might be just saying, that was so much for our last family breakfast, where that was our last family breakfast, wasn't it? Wasn't it something special, or wasn't it the same old, or something? Because we're going to get her follow-up straight up after this in the next minute of just absolute scorn, and why'd you have to say that? So, but that's where the minute ends. Over at the novel, the run-line seems to be a late addition to the script because that's not in the novel, but everything else pretty much is. David, that's minute 4. Anything else you want to bring up before we get out of here today?
No, I think we're good.
Alright, lovely.